What's annoying you this week, Walter?
Yeah, so that's it's been actually a pretty rough week. We have a musician, Chuck Mangione, an actor, Malcolm Jamal Warner, who was Theo Huxtable in the Cosby Show, Ozzy Osbourne, I think that kind of just says it all. And then Hulk Hogan, probably the most well-known and greatest wrestler, since the beginning of that entertainment. They all passed away this week. Just a really weird onslaught of, four very well-known, folks. And to be honest with you, affecting me in my childhood. I mean, I grew up with, quite a few of them. And so it kind of hit hard all this week. And yeah, I'm definitely annoyed at that.
I don't know if it's maybe the heroes of yesteryear are getting a little bit older now and they're all getting to that point, but I feel like this year there's been a lot of deaths, more than usual. Do you feel that?
I do, but even like with Ozzy, and rock and roll, like, or just the music of the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, they're getting old. You're absolutely right. And even Hulk who died young, 71, in my opinion, is fairly young to pass away. But they're getting in their 70s and 80s, and I guess it's just the time. But yeah, they are getting older very sad.
Yeah, the wrestlers is always it's hard to take because obviously wrestling in their era and it was huge. They've really like destroyed their body so much. Like they can't really fight it off. Like I know Ric Flair for the last 5 years he's having some real issues and you can see the damages it has on their body. Like do you ever think that maybe sometimes they don't realize the sacrifice they're making?
Yeah, it's a great point because every one of them cannot walk comfortably. It looks like. I mean, they're whether it's a shoulder, a knee, a hip. Look, playing tennis for 6 hours a day is one thing, and it does take its toll on the body. It's a cement court that you're mostly playing on, and it does take its toll on the knees. But these guys flying from 15 feet, landing and in just the regular practice and matches, let alone, I think we all can be adults about this. What about maybe some of the steroids or some of the human growth, hormones which is part of their entertainment, So yeah, really taking a toll on their body for that sport.
Yeah, they all had hard. Just like I mean, they all came so close together too, which was even more scary. But I feel like the Ozzy Osbourne Black Sabbath send off it might be the most perfect goodbye ever. I mean, how perfect is that for an end?
Boy, it really looks like a movie script. It's like he said goodbye. He said the music industry said goodbye to Ozzy. And it's a shame he didn't have maybe more time after that farewell concert saying goodbye. But yeah, that's going to be, I'm sure it's being worked on already, a Hollywood script.
It's so perfect. I mean, I watched it back yesterday, and I mean, even just like the guy at the end, the young guy that's singing at the end, has songs and stuff, and handing the baton over. It's just you look back on this. I think more like icons in their industry need to learn from it. Like just the one big hurrah, say goodbye, and then have it done. Maybe don't have the same timeline after, but it's just so perfect. But there's been a real conspiracy now that apparently the families took him to Switzerland after that to, that guided death type of thing. Obviously, it was a lot of pain for many years and stuff. But if that is true, again, might it just be the most perfect ending to a life ever? I mean, everything he achieved and then to go out like that is just, it's amazing.
He's one of those musicians that we didn't think, or I did not think he would be around for this long because he also abused his body, took things, for granted. And boy, talk about living a rock and roll lifestyle. He certainly did. But I don't know if you've seen, there have been tributes to Ozzy. Many of the concerts like Lady Gaga and others, Coldplay, I think, the Who just played, and they all made either the first song or the last song as a tribute to Ozzy and Black Sabbath. And so, look, that's nice. And the great thing about a musician is his art will live forever.
What I'm going to say kind of defeats the purpose of the what's annoying you this week, but I am getting great joy out of this picture from the Coldplay concert of the man
Yeah.
and woman. That is one of the best things to hit the internet in years. It is incredible.
Isn't it amazing and also scary how just two people appear on a screen for 5 seconds, 5 seconds, and lives, corporations, the world has just been put ablaze over this. It is a little scary though, as far as how one phone, one picture, one shot on the jumbotron can just with rapid fire. The woman just resigned. The CEO, he resigned last week. It's wow, what a firestorm, but what a story.
I know, and it's just I'm always like a believer of like everything happens for a reason, but to be that many people in one room and the camera just so happens to point at him of all people.
And then for Chris Martin to just jokingly say, "Wow, I wonder if they're having an affair or they're just camera shy." Uh, very, I mean, very interesting. Yeah, it really was. Talk about a popular story. And then I don't know if you've seen, in here in the U.S. there's really only baseball going on, and at all the parks they have their Coldplay cam, and they're recreating it in funny ways, and it's actually been quite hysterical.
And there's so many people like that are around like the podcast space that are using like Midjourney and ChatGPT to change the faces on the people, and they're putting out
Right.
some of like there's a guy that done one, and it was promo for his new episode of him hugging his next guest, and I think on Twitter it got something like 2 or 300,000 views and stuff, and he said he's never had more downloads in his life. People doing the greatest things ever.
Yeah, yeah. My kids are all over that. I mean, they're really enjoying a lot of the TikToks and a lot of the social media that's, taking little clips and run with it.
Yeah, it's internet's unforgiving.